I was on YouTube earlier today and I saw one of my fellow content creators, Kansas Kid, was did a short video about actually reaching his gold goal earlier than he was expecting, and that's something that needs to be applauded. This is awesome. If you are the kind of stacker who sets goals for yourself, they tell you in business that you will accomplish so much more by actually setting goals and sticking to them than just doing things randomly. Even with best intentions, life tends to get in the way. Or you need to buy something for the kids for school, or you've got to take your girlfriend out on a date, whatever it is. You get off track sometimes by having these consistent goals, and you could consider this to be a form of dollar cost averaging. It's a very logical way to stack. Just setting aside a certain amount every month, if that's what you want to do, and using your money to buy whatever it is that you think that you can afford on that monthly basis. And by doing that, Kansas Kid was actually able to come up with his annual goal of gold buying a month early. That's awesome. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dub C. I want to thank you for being with me here today. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click on that subscription button. It doesn't cost anything. Love to have you be part of this community. I'm not trying to offer financial advice. I'm simply looking at one of my other fellow YouTubers, and I kind of came up with an idea that I wanted to explain to you quickly if you too have these goals, because I think that there's a vehicle that flies under the radar sometimes, and it really shouldn't. And we're going to talk about being able to get gold at an even bigger discount than you might be aware of. If you've ever seen one of those ads that says buy 3 tires, get the 4th for free, we're talking about buying 9 10th-ounce gold coins and getting the 10th for free. Let me tell you exactly how we're doing that here. Incidentally, Kansas Kid referenced a video by World Money Wins. I'll put a link to both Kansas Kid and World Money Wins down below. Great YouTubers, great content. Take a look at them if you're not already subscribed. Subscribe to their channels too. Gold Eagles, 1/10 Gold Eagles. These are really easy. The nice thing about Gold Eagles is that they are exactly the fraction that they are supposed to be, right? 1/10 of a troy ounce of pure gold. Now, it's important to note, if you weren't aware of it, the American Gold Eagle program is not pure gold. These are 22 karat gold. We have a long tradition of alloying a small amount of other metals, typically copper in the case of the Eagles. It's a very small amount of silver and a small amount of copper. That brings the purity down just a little bit, 0.9167 or 91.67% pure. That is still more pure than our classic pre-1933 gold coins that you see here. These are $5 gold pieces pre-1933. That was the pieces that we used to circulate. We needed to alloy those to make them a little bit more durable, and we've kind of continued that tradition with the Gold Eagles. It's important to understand that even though these have an alloy of a little bit of silver and a little bit of copper in them, each one of them weighs more than they are supposed to weigh in order for you to get the full measure that you are supposed to. So while these are not pure gold, each one of them contains exactly 1/10 of a troy ounce of pure gold in them. Important to understand that difference, right? So 10 of these would equal 1 troy ounce of pure gold. They are an ideal stacking vehicle if you are on a limited budget. This is a great way to stack. As I am filming, I went ahead and looked at one of the biggest online retailers right now, bullion exchanges, and they have these for $283.94 a piece. So that's really easy math. 10 of these times $283.94, $2,839.40 for a troy ounce of these. Now, if you're buying them incrementally, it makes a lot of sense. I believe World Money Wins referenced the idea of buying these over the course of a year, especially while the market's kind of on that uptrend, because if you'd saved up every single penny to buy 1 ounce of gold at the very end of the year, right now the price of gold would be higher than it would have been at the start of the year. So you wind up paying a little bit more as long as gold is on that upward trajectory. It may not be forever. In fact, it's actually corrected a little bit recently, but I think it's a logical way to approach this. But the thing that I was going to talk about that kind of flies under the radar are the Austrian gold ducats. Now, I happen to see that Kansas Kid, I think he actually had a Philharmonic in his stack. Philharmonic is Austria's entry to the gold bullion coins that we see. It's like a gold maple, a gold eagle, gold Libertad, the gold Britannias, and the Austrian Philharmonics. They are all cut of the same cloth, right? That is a typical bullion coin. But Austria continues to release these classic ducats. A ducat is just a classic gold coin going back a couple hundred years. This was something that had been exchanged for a long time. And Austria had made these up until 1915. And starting in 1915, they made restrikes of these. So Austria, the Austrian Mint, continues to release these gold ducats every single year, cranking them out. And they all have that 1915 date on them. That's the definition of a restrike. What does that mean? How does it actually play into what we're talking about? The nice thing about a restrike from a country like Austria, who is incredibly highly regarded, and their pieces are traded globally. Everybody who deals in bullion knows exactly what the Philharmonics are. They are intimately familiar with the ducats and the Maria Theresa Thaler if you're talking about silver. The nice thing about these pieces is that they are substantially more pure than the American Gold Eagles, or even our classic pre-1933 coins. These are 98.6% pure. Remember I said that the Gold Eagle's 91.67. See, these are substantially more pure. In fact, they are so pure that really they should be considered a pure gold coin. They're not quite pure gold, but they're as close as you can possibly get without being 3/9 fine. So a 3/9 fine would be 0.999. These are 0.986. They are really close, technically 23.5 karat gold. But the benefit of the Austrian ducat is that they have no collector value because they are restrikes. You can't collect something that is dated 1915 if it was made 30 or 40 years ago, and if it was made last week. They all have the same date. They're not meant to be a collector coin. They are meant to be an inexpensive way to buy gold, and that's exactly what they are. Now, the great thing about the Austrian ducats, unlike the American Gold Eagles, these 10th Eagles that have exactly 1/10 of a troy ounce of pure gold, the Austrian ducats have 0.11 of a troy ounce of pure gold. 0.10, 0.11. In fact, it's a little bit more than that even. So the important thing, the reason that you're getting gold for free or achieving your goal earlier if you consider something like a ducat. Bullion exchanges, $283.94 a piece, so 10 of these for an ounce of gold would equal $2,839.40. Keep that in mind. We'll come back to that. The Austrian ducats slightly more expensive, literally like $5 or $6 more. Bullion Exchanges currently has these for $289.96 a piece. You're looking at the images of this as I'm filming. These are pulled right off their website. So what does that mean? Well, let's do a little math. 10 of these at 0.1 would equal a troy ounce. But these, because they are 0.1107, you only need to buy 9 of them. Now, it's not exactly a full troy ounce, but I want to be very clear. We're not talking about the alloys of gold and silver and copper. The actual gold weight of these pieces compared to the actual gold weight of these pieces. You need 9 of them to get 0.9963. All right, it's not a full troy ounce, but it's as close as you can get without actually being a full troy ounce. You're talking about a difference of 0.0037 of a troy ounce. But the beauty is that you only bought 9 of these. And these at a price of currently, as we're talking, $289.96 a piece times 9. You're only shelling out $2,609.64 for a troy ounce. Remember that we said to buy 10 of these versus 9 of these. To buy 10 of the Eagles, $28.39.40. So by buying 9 of the ducats, even though they're a few dollars more expensive per coin, you're only buying 9 of them. You are saving $229.76. That is really close to the price of one of these, or frankly, one of these. So by buying 9 of these, you are saving almost a full 10th of a troy ounce. You are reaching your goal earlier. It doesn't sound that complex when I talk about it out loud to me. Does it sound complex to you? These are bigger, they weigh more, they have more pure gold in them, and they only cost $5 or $6 a piece more than the 1/10 Gold Eagles. I think these make a lot of sense, and if you are really goal-oriented, and if you're stacking on a budget, this is a fantastic way to reach those goals even earlier, and you're saving hundreds of dollars per troy ounce. don't sleep on the gold ducats. They make a lot of sense. If you are concerned about your local buyer, maybe not buy them back. I've never encountered a dealer who knew what they were talking about, who would snub the gold ducats. This is a really common thing. Remember, these have been made for almost 100 years. They are everywhere. Everybody who buys gold ducats knows exactly what they are. You can find them on eBay. You can find them through AppMex. You can find them through bullion exchanges. They are an incredibly common alternative, but they offer some benefits versus the gold eagle. More pure, heavier weight, and just about the same price, so that you can actually get that 10th ounce for free. They make a lot of sense. I'll leave links to everything that I talked about down below. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and leave a question down below. Remember to check out World Money Wins and the Kansas Kid, their websites or their YouTube pages. Subscribe to them. Subscribe to my channel also. And as always, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey as we go deeper into the world of coins and physical precious metals.